Hey y'all, hope everything is good. I wanted to make a video talking about the past games I've worked on, starting from the first ever project and working up towards the most recent ones. This is going to be a short little breakdown of this first game, what made me want to work on it, what my goals were, what the outcome was, and everything I've learned along the way. I did make a video about this a while back, but I wanted to go more in depth this time and talk about the details about how the simple game actually came together. So let's get started. This project's name is called Jump Side Dash, but initially it was under a completely different name. It was originally called Tap Ball, and that was the first prototype I made when I was just messing around in Unity for the first time. Back then, the auto movement you see here wasn't in the game originally. It actually started as a generic platformer where you controlled the character by jumping and moving left and right, just like a traditional 2D platformer game. But as I kept experimenting, the idea slowly shifted. I removed the left and right movement, kept only the jump, and made the character automatically move on its own. With the direction changing each time the player hits a wall, that change completely transformed the feel of the game. The movement felt more rhythmic, more timing based, and way more unique compared to the original platformer idea. It was a lot more fun as well to learn this new type of mechanic since this wasn't something that I usually saw in regular platformer type games. So because of the shift in mechanics, the original tap ball game didn't really fit anymore, so the project evolved, and that's when it officially became Jump Side Dash. In the final version of the game, the only action the player could take is hitting the spacebar to jump. The cube automatically moves left or right, and hitting a wall flips your direction. If you collide with a wall, you bounce off of everything and go the opposite way. It's simple, but it creates this fun rhythm where timing becomes everything. While working on this game, I had 3 goals in mind, and that's to make something short, make something simple, and complete something from start to finish. I wanted to put together 10 levels going from easy to difficult, while introducing some fun mechanics along the way, things like trampolines to give you a higher jump, moving hazards that force you to time your actions, and a checkpoint system to make retries less frustrating. Even though this was my first ever Unity project, I still wanted to experiment a bit by making something more unique other than something generic. One of the big inspirations for this game actually was the video game N++. I was watching a lot of N++ at the time, and even though my game was nowhere near that level of polish, the clean movement and simple level design of that game influenced how I approached things while creating this game. It made me think more about how levels flow, how difficulty ramp up over time, and how small mechanics can create interesting challenges. Initially, back at the start, I was potentially thinking that I was going to publish this game somewhere, but when I ended up finishing, it made me realize that this isn't something worth spending money on. And that's completely fine. What mattered was that I finished something, I learned to take a small idea and turn it into a complete little project. And honestly, that experience alone was worth it, and I achieved every goal that I set out to do. This project, even with how simple it is, feels like a very important step for me. It helped me understand the basics of Unity, it taught me how to structure levels, and it gave me the confidence to move on to bigger and more ambitious ideas later on. And yeah, that's it for this devlog. Although the video is pretty short, the game itself is not too complex, and it was more of a learning experience for me. Because I was able to make this project here, I was able to work on something a bit more challenging, which you will see now. I will cover this new project in the next video. Thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you guys soon.